biggest misconceptions about having an adventurous life is that you need a lot of money to do it. When we think about adventure, we often imagine flights, beautiful hotels, road trips, expensive restaurants, bucket list destinations, and once-in-a-lifetime experiences. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the idea of traveling and experiencing new places, but I've realized that if I define adventure as something that has to cost hundreds or thousands of pounds, I'm going to spend a lot of my life waiting until I have more money, waiting until I have more time, waiting until someone else is available, waiting until everything is perfect. And I don't want to do that. I want to have a life that feels exciting now. So today's video is all about how to make more adventures without spending a fortune. We're going to talk about how to find adventures close to home, how to create experiences instead of just buying things, how to make ordinary weekends feel special, how to have adventures alone, how to use curiosity to make your everyday life more exciting, and how to create a realistic adventure fund when you do want to travel further. And the best part, a lot of these ideas are completely free or cost very little. Because I think adventure isn't really about how far you go, it's about how willing you are to experience something differently. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's talk about creating a more adventurous life without needing a huge budget. Before we get into ideas, I want to redefine what an adventure is. Because if you Google adventure, you might picture climbing mountains, traveling across the world, or going skydiving. But adventure can be much smaller. Adventure is simply doing something outside your normal routine. It could be exploring a new town, taking a different walking route, trying a new recipe, going somewhere you've never been before, going to a free exhibit, taking yourself on a solo date, learning something you've never tried, even getting on a random bus or train and exploring the area when you have a little time and a plan to get back safely. The point isn't how impressive the experience looks. The point is that you're creating a memory. And I think that's much more accessible definition. One of the easiest traps to fall into is thinking, I'll have adventures when I travel. But what happens between trips? You live your normal life. You go to work. You do your chores. You watch TV. You scroll endlessly. Sleep. And repeat. And suddenly, months have passed. I don't want my life to only feel exciting when I'm on holiday. I want ordinary weeks to contain little moments that I look forward to. That's why I think we need to stop separating our lives into normal life and adventure life. Your normal life can contain adventure too. You just have to create opportunities for it. This is probably one of my favorite ideas. Pretend you're visiting your own town for the first time. What would you Google? Where would you go? What would you photograph? What would you want to learn about? We often know very little about the places we've lived near for years. There might be historic buildings, beautiful parks, independent cafes, markets, museums, walking trails, libraries, art galleries, gardens, local landmarks, scenic viewpoints, and many of these places are free or very inexpensive. So choose one weekend and become a tourist where you already live. Take photos, make a little itinerary, dress up if you want to, pack snacks, and actually make a day of it. Here is a challenge I love. Give yourself a budget of £10. That's it. And create the best adventure you can. Maybe you buy a train ticket somewhere nearby. Maybe you get a coffee and explore a new neighborhood. Maybe you buy ingredients for a picnic. Maybe you visit a charity shop and give yourself £5 to find something interesting. Maybe you take public transport somewhere nearby town and spend the day exploring. The limit actually makes it more fun because instead of asking, what can I afford? You start asking, how creative can I be? And I think creativity is a huge part of adventure. Here's another idea. Choose one day and deliberately don't follow your normal routine. Not in a chaotic way, just differently. Take a different route, eat breakfast somewhere different, visit somewhere you've never been, wear an outfit you've been saving, listen to music you haven't heard before, Try a new activity. Take photos. Write about the day afterwards. You don't need a huge itinerary. You just need to interrupt autopilot. If you are watching this during the summer, this is the perfect time to create a seasonal adventure list. And it doesn't have to be a traditional bucket list. Create a list of 20 small adventures. For example, watch the sunrise, have a picnic, visit a new park, go berry picking, have an outdoor breakfast, visit a museum, explore a nearby village, take a scenic walk, have a film night outside, read somewhere unusual, go stargazing, try a new recipe, visit a local market, have a photography walk, go on a solo date, take a day trip, visit a historic building, have a games night, write postcards, watch the sunset, then challenge yourself to complete as many as possible. One of the best ways to have more adventures without spending a fortune is to pay attention to what's happening around you. Look for free concerts, community events, markets, outdoor cinema, libraries, museum events, local festivals or exhibits, walking groups, workshops, public talks, open days. Many places have events that cost little or nothing. The trick is to actually look. Check your local council website. Check libraries, community centers, museums, parks, local social media pages, and event websites. You might be surprised by how much is happening close to home. Sometimes when we make plans with friends, we automatically think restaurant, drinks, shopping, and suddenly a casual afternoon has cost £50. Try changing the default. Have a picnic, go for a walk, cook together, have a themed movie night, explore somewhere new, take a photography walk, do a charity shop challenge, have a board game evening, visit a free museum, create a yes day, but with a small spending limit. You don't need to spend lots of money to create memories with people. Often, the funniest memories are the simplest ones. Another important lesson I've been learning is that sometimes you have to be willing to go alone. If there's somewhere you've been wanting to visit, but everyone's schedules are different, consider going by yourself. A solo adventure could be a cafe, a museum, a bookshop, a cinema, a day trip, a local attraction. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but there's something incredibly empowering about realizing I don't have to wait for someone else to live my life. You can still share experiences with people, but you don't have to postpone experiences simply because nobody else is available. I absolutely love the idea of micro adventures. They are tiny experiences that fit into normal life. You don't need a weekend away. You might only have 2 hours, and that's enough. Try a sunrise walk, an evening picnic, watching the stars, exploring a new neighborhood, taking your camera outside, visiting a local landmark, going somewhere you've passed hundreds of times but never stopped at. The beauty of micro-adventures is that they don't require much planning. They're accessible, and they make life feel less repetitive. Here is a really fun idea for you can try. Take a jar, or even just use the Notes app on your phone, and write down lots of adventure ideas. Some should definitely be free. Some can cost £5, some £10, and maybe a few bigger adventures for when you have more time or money. Whenever you feel bored, pull one out. So for example, you could put explore somewhere new, watch the sunset, visit a free museum, try a new recipe, go for a walk you've never taken, have a solo cafe date. This removes the question, what should I do today? You already have a list. Now, I don't want this video to sound like I'm saying you should never spend money, because sometimes spending money creates wonderful experiences. The goal is to spend intentionally. Instead of making lots of small impulse purchases, consider creating an adventure fund. Even if you put aside £5–10 at a time, that money has one job: creating experiences. Maybe eventually it pays for a day trip, a concert, a train journey, a hotel night, a weekend away, some sort of special activity. There's something really motivating about watching your little adventure fund grow. You're not simply saving money. You're saving for memories. Sometimes you don't even need to leave your town. You can make an ordinary day feel different simply by changing the way you experience. Have breakfast outside. Take a book somewhere new. Wear your favorite outfit. Create a themed dinner. Make a playlist for the day. Take photos. Try a new recipe. Have a picnic in your garden. Watch the sunset. Write in your journal. The experience becomes special because you're paying attention. And that's really what adventure is about. Here is a little challenge I would love for you to try. Once a month, do something you've never done before. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Maybe you've never made homemade pasta, visited a particular town, gone to a museum alone, tried pottery, watched the sunrise, gone stargazing, taken a train somewhere new, visited a planetarium, cooked a cuisine you've never tried, written a poem, gone to a local event. Every first becomes a memory, and the more new experiences you collect, the richer your life feels. You might be wondering, why does any of this matter? Why should we actively create adventures? Because experiences gives our lives texture. They give us stories. They interrupt routine. They introduce us to new people and ideas. They help us learn about ourselves, and they remind us that life isn't simply about completing tasks. We're here to experience it, to be curious, to explore, to create memories. And I think that's especially important when you're working towards bigger goals. It's easy to become so focused on building your future that you forget to enjoy your present. Adventure brings you back. I've been thinking a lot about what a dream life actually means, and I don't think it's necessarily a huge house, or designer clothes, or luxury holidays every month, or even a perfect routine. I think a dream life is one where you have moments you're genuinely excited to wake up for. It's having people you love, places you're curious about, things you're learning, experiences you're looking forward to, and the freedom to enjoy ordinary days. That is the kind of life I'm interested in creating, and adventure is a huge part of that. So, if you've been telling yourself, I can't afford to have fun right now, I want you to challenge that thought. Maybe you can't afford the expensive version, and that is fine, totally okay. What is the free version? What is the £5 version? What can you experience close to home? What have you been overlooking? What have you been waiting for someone else to do it with? You don't need unlimited money to have an interesting life. You need curiosity, creativity, and a willingness to step outside your usual routine. Your life doesn't have to wait until you have more money. You can start creating memories now. So, I'm going to now turn this into a challenge. Your 7-day micro adventure challenge. So on day 1, explore. Take a different route somewhere you've been before. Notice 5 things you've never noticed. On day 2, try something new. Cook something you've never made before. Try a new hobby, or learn something you've always been curious about. Day 3, be a tourist. Visit somewhere interesting in your local area. Take photos and pretend you're visiting for the first time. Day 4, solo adventure. Take yourself somewhere you've been wanting to visit. Don't wait for someone else. Day 5, nature. Go outside and spend at least 30 minutes somewhere beautiful. Park, woodland, countryside, beach, whatever is accessible to you. On day 6, do the £10 adventure. You give yourself a maximum budget of £10 and create an adventure. Be creative. And on day 7, sunset or sunrise. Watch one of them without scrolling on your phone. Just be present. After completing the challenge, don't forget to create your adventure list. 20 adventures you'd love to have this year, and divide them into free, under £10, under £25, big dream adventures. Then choose one from the list every week or every month. That way, adventure becomes part of your lifestyle instead of something you only do occasionally. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd love to know what's one adventure you've always wanted to have but keep putting off. Leave it down in the comments below. Maybe this is your sign to finally put it on your calendar. And if you try the 7-day micro adventure challenge, come back and tell me which day was your favorite. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!